Hello, I am Patrick Cawley with Keystone Elder Law, and this is Keynotes, a series of conversations about issues affecting the elderly, people with special needs, and veterans of the armed forces. Today, I am joined by Karen Caslo, the care coordinator with Keystone Elder Law. Karen, when you were studying nursing in college, did you foresee a time when you'd be doing an interview like this or working at a place like Keystone Elder Law?
I didn't even realize elder law existed until I applied for the position almost 7 years ago. When I went to school initially, I was going back and forth between physical therapy, occupational therapy, and nursing, and ended up in nursing when the college I chose had a 4-year nursing program, but did not have 4-year physical therapy or occupational therapy programs, and I didn't want to switch schools.
Well, what did you do then after getting that nursing degree? Did you go and work in a clinical setting?
Yes, I worked in hospitals for a number of years. I started off on orthopedics, and then worked several years as well on a medical surgical unit. So I had a lot of exposure to older adults and the multiple chronic conditions that many experience.
So what happened that you then started to look from a clinical setting to a place like Keystone Elder Law, and you said you didn't even know that elder law existed? Tell us about how you came to be searching for that next step in your career and what you found appealing about it.
I was looking for more of a case management position at the time. I had done direct care for many years, and while I enjoyed it, I spent a lot of time, I felt like, passing medications, which I did not care for as much as the hands-on care aspect, getting people up walking and helping them feel good and progressing toward their recovery. So I was looking for a case management position and actually stumbled across Keystone Elder Law's ad on Craigslist, of all places.
Well, fortunately, our technology and ability to reach out to other professionals has come a long way since just having Craigslist. But certain things haven't changed, and that's that you fill a crucial role at Keystone Elder Law, where we're not just trying to protect money and property. We're not just drafting legal documents to get somebody qualified for government benefits for long-term care. We are really trying to address all of the challenges that families experience together as they come in with somebody facing the necessity for long-term care. And I think that you fill such a role there. So I think that it would be great if you could describe, of course, without naming any names, but some of the people you have helped, the types of situations they've been in, where you're educating them. Something that people don't think about when they think of a law firm.
So the quick summary of my role is that I provide education and advocacy for older adults and their families related to long-term care services, whether those services are going to be in the home setting or in some type of facility setting. I've also learned enough about the legal side to figure out if help from attorneys would be beneficial for families when they initially call our firm. So I do handle all of the triage, is what we call it, when people are searching for information and initially call us with some general questions. But it's all intertwined with older adults, their legal needs, their financial needs, their physical needs, their social and emotional needs, and having someone like myself as a care coordinator on staff, we can help fulfill all of their needs instead of having to send folks somewhere else to get those questions answered.
I think that's a very good way to put it. And just personally, I've witnessed you talk families through the process of deciding when they, for example, have a loved one in the hospital from a fall or maybe a stroke or something of that nature, and they're just trying to decide where the next facility is appropriate so that they can get the right care for their needs. And I've seen you walk them through various facilities and what might be most appropriate for them. I've seen you talk about respite care just to give the family caregivers a break. So, there's obviously a lot going on there. There's just what resources are available, and you are very well equipped to talk families through the resources that they might have available to them, as well as just understanding what their emotional needs are. It's sort of obvious sometimes when families are frustrated, they're fearful about not only not giving the appropriate care to their family member, but also running out of money. They're maybe guilty for looking at long-term care facilities because they feel like they're letting their loved one down. And it seems like you are so well equipped to anticipate this range of emotions and then bring in, from a knowledge standpoint, just the resources that are there and find a way to convince them that this is going to solve the family's whole problem. So could you tell us some of the I'm remembering certain cases, but maybe some come to mind for you where you walked a family through all of these options and tried to anticipate all of the needs of the family.
Well, having worked in, I mentioned already, acute care hospitals, I also worked in a retirement community, so saw how those operate, a continuing care retirement community with various levels of care in one place. I've worked in standalone nursing homes, but I also cared for my grandmother in my home. Back in the early 2000s, I became kind of a sandwich generation. It wasn't my parent, but it was my grandmother, came to stay with us for 6 or 7 months while she recovered after a stroke. So I have direct experience with those dynamics too, because that is very different from caring for somebody in a professional role when you can go home after an 8-hour shift. But when another adult moves into your home, and I had 2 children who were 7 and 9 at the time, so it was very different to care for a family member in my own home. So I can understand the range of emotions that people experience when they're caregiving for a loved one. Many families struggle with their loved one not wanting to go to a nursing home. I actually had to disagree with my grandmother because she did not want to be a burden on our family and would have preferred to go to a nursing home, or at least said she did. But we convinced her otherwise, and that experience has proven very valuable for me now as I'm working with families. So having had the variety of experience, I can see from the professional side why care facilities tell families certain things or why they do things the way they do. But I can also understand, having worked there and counseled families as to their loved one's condition and what was going to be happening next. I've seen both sides. So I'm prepared then to understand where they're coming from, and help them formulate expectations that are going to be realistic and make the process of adjusting to these changes much easier.
So, as I've witnessed, you are, because I thought about asking what your typical day or week it looks like, but I suspect you don't really have a typical day or a week, and right now nothing is typical. But you meet with clients over the phone, you meet with people in person, sometimes in combination with the attorneys going through the legal documents, and you go out to facilities. Am I capturing the range of settings where you interact with clients of Keystone Elder Law?
That is correct. So in addition to speaking with folks initially on the phone, and then after after they become clients, I do go out to care facilities and visit our clients if they have chosen for that service to occur. Even when clients don't know quite who I am or understand why I'm there, I still stop in and visit them and then can report back to the family what I found on an unannounced visit, what their loved one was doing, how the staff were interacting with their loved one. And that provides some additional comfort for them.
Do you think that it results in better care at a facility when there's obviously somebody coming in to check on the family member, perhaps advocate for the family member?
It's not that I'm there every week because that just would not be physically possible. But we like to see ourselves as not only helping the families with this transition, but helping the facilities as well, because we encourage family members to call us when they have questions or they're not sure about something that the facility has told them. So we can give them, the family and the facility, another perspective. I've tried to help facilities problem solve when family is concerned about a certain type of situation. But we also try to act as a sounding board so families can take out their frustration on us and then have a better understanding and be a little bit calmer when they're speaking with the staff at the facility again regarding their loved one's care.
Very well said. Well, you write a regular column in the Carlisle Sentinel, and you have spoken to audiences who come into our office in a sort of seminar format. Hopefully we'll be reorganizing those as webinars for people who are interested. You are active on the Keystone Elder Law Facebook page. How else can people get in touch with you and learn from your experience?
So they are welcome to call the office when we are in the office once this quarantine will be done. And that the telephone number is all over all of our media. Right now, working from home, my phone number is 717-550-2099, or I can be reached by email at Karen, Karen, at KeystoneElderLaw.com.
Karen, thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure people will find this very helpful.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. Have a great day.
You too.